The video you're seeing right now was shot on a Canon EOS Rebel T3i, and the lens I'm using is a 50mm 1.8. This lens and camera system marked an explosion of DSLR video cameras in 2011. The footage that you saw was...
Devon.
Joe, I'm in the middle of a video.
You are not talking about video games.
No, well, I am. I'm doing the intro.
Why are you talking about cameras?
Because I wrote this to introduce my argument.
What is your argument?
I'm trying to make a video. Can we talk later?
Your argument is about cameras?
No, my argument is about generic video games.
Then why are you talking about cameras?
Because, this is a cold open, which is giving the viewer something interesting to think about that's thematically tied to the rest of the video.
How is the cold open tied to the theme of the video?
Okay. The footage that I showed at the beginning of the video is something that I would call generic footage, because when these cameras came out, these cameras were everywhere. They were very popular because they were doing something that cameras hadn't at that time, which is providing 1080p video at very shallow depths of field. So everybody had a camera and they all wanted to do the same thing. So they all started posting videos of these same moments of these little shallow depth of field videos. It was just very generic.
And how is that related to video games?
I thought you were in sleep mode. Why did you just suddenly wake up?
I was not in sleep mode. I was running a test simulation and it ended.
Simulating? What were you simulating?
Please answer my question. How is your camera related to video games?
It's the idea that new technology hitting mainstream means a lot of creators don't create with a vision in mind, but they create with a novelty in mind because it's new technology. And video games are like this too, because they are a type of technology. People create video games the same way.
I understand. But what is your argument?
My argument is that when someone creates a video game, that they should focus on creating a vision.
And not all games have a vision?
Well, yeah, I suppose they do, but I'm mainly making the statement that people should generally stay away from making generic video games.
And what qualifies as a generic video game?
Why are you asking me so many questions?
It is my purpose.
Yeah, I thought your purpose was to learn about human emotion.
You are speaking with emotion. It helps me understand humans if I hear them speak about something they are passionate about.
Oh, interesting. Well, if you look at the definition of generic...
Not specific.
Yeah, right. So when I think of non-specific video games, I think of games that don't deliver an artistic vision.
Is an artistic vision required to create a video game?
Well, no. If it was, then I wouldn't be having this argument.
Then why do you care if games are made without an artistic vision?
Oh, man, for a lot of reasons. But, I mean, basically because I believe video games are art. They communicate experiences. And people who make generic video games, they're simply adding to the stigma that video games don't qualify as art.
So video games as art is an important idea for you?
Well, yeah, but it's not just video games. I feel like the interactive medium as a whole is not as respected as other mediums, which is kind of weird because like those other mediums also faced that same novelty era, that I'm talking about.
Then why do video games have a stigma?
Well, they don't so much anymore, not as much as they were when I was a kid anyway, but that's mostly due to newer generations being interested in video games from a young age, which is great. That's really good. But I want to get to the point to where older generations can appreciate video games just as much as, movies, books, paintings, or sculptures.
Movies, books, paintings, and sculptures do not have stigma?
Well, they all did at one point, but they don't anymore. But that's just because of age. And I guess because video games are still a pretty young medium, they're not as mature, but they're getting there, and I want to help push it along by describing to people why video games should be considered art.
Some games have been made into movies. Is that a sign of respect?
What, video game movies? Like what?
Like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, dude, Sonic. That is an excellent example.
Sonic is well represented
of generic gameplay.
What do you mean?
Well, first we have to talk about Super Mario and Miyamoto. Okay, so Miyamoto...
Wait.
What?
This is a great place to insert part 2 for maximum engagement.
Part 2? What are you talking about?